So yesterday was Martin Luther King Day, and so I thought to myself I should probably do a little subject and talk about something that's always sort of bothered me, especially with some of the sort of more right wing grifters in terms of not just not. And some people talked about this in sort of how a lot of right wing grifters use the the people should be judged by content of the character part of the "I have a dream" speech as sort of a way of saying that Martin Luther King would hate the fact that all these uppity black people are trying to continue to get more and more, to get better and more equal treatment in society because we solved this a long time ago, sort of thing. And that's a lot of what the reason why they do this. But that's not the subject I would like to talk about. The subject I want to talk about is the other sort of writing grifters, a lot of the African American writing grifters, such as Candace Owens, and to talk about the whole mentality of I accomplished something, so why aren't all the other black people accomplishing this? And some people refer to it as sort of pulled by bootstraps, but it's really more in terms of people like Candace Owens, listening to some of her backstory and history, at least as she sort of claims it to be, like which is always sort of a weird thing because you always have to assume that what the person saying about the history is true, is more of the survivorship bias problem. And what this is that it's the thing that says like, okay, I had it tough too, but I made it through. And it's the lack of acknowledgement of what other factors in your life allowed you to make it through, survive. Because it's not just I was born poor or I was born in a bad neighborhood and I sort of accomplished things. And a lot of times when people talk about this, they always sort of say like, "Oh, I had this one teacher that really helped me out," or "Oh, I had the opportunity to go to a library," and people never recognize it's those sort of small things, those sort of small incremental things that happen in your life that allow you to make it where you are today and now. So let me tell a little backstory of myself. So I'm a software engineer. I make a pretty good sum of money, and I have a master's degree in computer engineering. And if I were a right wing grifter, I would say I accomplished all this myself. I was more intelligent than everyone else, and I worked harder than everyone else to get where I am today. And that's not true. Like that's factually not true. Both my parents are college professors, highly educated, and that right there is the main reason why I was able to go to college because that sort of level of education allowed me to live in places where I was able to go to good school systems when I lived both in Florida as well as when I lived in New Jersey. This allowed me to have access to things like a tutor for English for when I was struggling in high school. Like I was amazing at math, but I was not that great at English. Like it's a thing. And then also when I was younger, I spoke with a speech impediment, and I was able to get speech therapy to allow me to more or less remove the speech impediment that I had. And again, like if I didn't have this sort of things, if I didn't have the speech therapy, I could be, no offense, be talking like someone like a Mike Tyson and have a tougher time getting employed, being taken seriously, and these sort of incremental things that happen in people's lives are what allows someone to be successful. And to bring it back to the Martin Luther King speech and the sort of line that a lot of people right like to use to dismiss a lot of the complaints that people in the African American community have, is that it's the lack of recognition of what things you have in your life that allowed you to accomplish what you were able to accomplish. Because no one accomplishes anything on their own. There's not a person on the planet who has ever built something by themselves, made something for themselves, or done anything for themselves. That is a lie and is not true. Everyone, everywhere has had someone at some point in time help them out that allowed them to be where they are. From the richest billionaire to even people who just have a few $100s in the bank, someone allowed them and helped them along their way so that they are where they are today. And that's just what everyone wants. Everyone wants a society where everyone has at least has the access to the tools required in order to be successful. And those are my thoughts.